Live from KSAT 12, the Nightbeat starts right now.
Just a day after utter chaos broke out, Dallas police releasing the name of the man they say fired gunshots and injured 3 people inside the Texas State Fair last night. Police say 22-year-old Cameron Turner opened fire in a food court and then ran away from the scene.
Police eventually arrested Turner a little while after the shooting. That gun also recovered. Thankfully, all 3 victims involved are expected to be okay. The State Fair opened at 2 o'clock this afternoon and operated like normal. But as the terror spread through Dallas moments after the shooting, one woman we spoke with says last night's scare came too soon for her. Yeah, the night team's Danielle Ibarra spoke with a Uvalde native who experienced first the impact from the Robb Elementary shooting and now the State Fair shooting.
I'm at the State Fair, y'all. A day of fun ended with fear.
I know from experience that it could have been worse.
Michelle Prouty and her friend were heading out of Fair Park in Dallas when they stopped to watch the parade. Moments after,
then it turned into chaos.
She says a stampede of people rushed by. Prouty says a couple stopped.
I went up to them. I said, "What is going on?" And they said, "There's an active shooter." And we were like, oh my God.
While Dallas officials say this shooting is isolated, the panic Prouty felt is familiar.
It just kind of struck a nerve. Our 21 in Uvalde, they were the first ones that I thought of.
While at the State Fair, she paid tribute to the 21 who lost their lives on May 24th. To be that close to another shooting at a place where people expect to feel safe,
it was surreal.
It took Prouty and her friend 3 hours to get to their hotel. Despite the delay, she's thankful for every second.
Cherish every day with your family and your friends and your loved ones.
Danielle Ibarra, KSAT 12 News.
To Israel now, where the Israeli military is poised and ready to strike Gaza in retaliation 1 week after the surprise Hamas attack was launched, killing 1,300 people in Israel, nearly 30 of them U.S. citizens. The Israel Defense Force is reporting Hamas is still holding 155 people hostage while they warn all of northern Gaza to evacuate, many of them with nowhere to go. American citizens also trying to evacuate into Egypt, unsuccessfully, despite holding U.S. passports. Still, Secretary of State Antony Blinken is assuring the world that the Gaza border crossing into Egypt is open.
We have put in place, and Egypt has put in place, a lot of material support for people in Gaza, and Rafah will be open.
The Biden administration says they're working around the clock to charter planes for Americans to leave Israel. A teenage Israeli who spent a year living here in San Antonio is now opening up about what she's seeing in her home country. She told us that through her devastation and fear, she feels so much love coming from her second home, the Alamo City.
I've heard of kids being murdered in front of their parents or parents being murdered in front of their kids. Their homes are being taken away from them. They're burnt down. They're destroyed. They're massacred.
As an Israeli, 18-year-old Shani Villan knows some of these people.
Some relatives, some family, and even the ones that I do not know. They're my brothers and sisters. They are my people. They are the citizens of my country.
Being so close to the devastation, hope is sometimes hard to come by. So she's finding it from thousands of miles away here in San Antonio, Texas.
The community, the amazing people who love San Antonio so much and love Israel and just showered us with so much love and hospitality.
Villan lived in San Antonio for a year-long service program, engaging with the Jewish community, the schools, and the city in general. She just left in August and feels the worry and love from San Antonians she now calls family. And she's worried about them, too.
I know people who haven't been sending their kids to Jewish schools and haven't been wearing Jewish uniforms to schools because it has Jewish symbols on them.
That's why she's circling back to last Saturday.
Hamas is like ISIS. It is. It's a terrorist organization with the entire goal right now is to just massacre Israelis, Jews.
But as her country defends its people, she said those same people weep for all innocent lives being taken, especially young people like herself.
No one deserves that. I wouldn't wish it upon anyone, not Palestinians, not anyone in the world.
Before the attack, she had just returned home, excited to start her required enlistment in the Israeli Defense Forces, now put on hold because there's no one to train her.
Just putting you in uniform puts you in danger. So if you're not crucially needed, they're not going to enlist you right now. But I'm waiting for it.
Now she's finding other ways to support her people, like dispelling fake news and begging people to protest for peace, not hate.
Calling for peace and calling for love and calling for safety.
Though she's young, her message is clear. She's asking for prayers for innocent people on both sides of this terrible situation. She's also pointed out last week the Jewish Federation of San Antonio, along with San Antonio city leaders, called for support for Israel. You can visit their website for more information.
Switching gears now to a look outside with live cam tonight. Mostly clear skies and cool already, with temperatures falling into the low 60s this 10 p.m. hour. It was an absolutely beautiful fall weekend across south central Texas. The only thing that we really had to contend with was the wind. It was windy yesterday, windy again today. Here's a look at some of the peak wind gusts that were clocked in across the area. Here in San Antonio, we had a peak wind gust of about 29 miles per hour, 30 over in Hondo, and 31 up I-35 in New Braunfels. Now that the sun has gone down, those winds have really started to calm down as well. Not as windy tomorrow, but still a little breezy. Here are your weather headlines as we look ahead to the upcoming work week. A few chilly mornings in store, but that is followed by comfortable afternoons with more sunshine, especially through Wednesday. Low humidity continues through the middle of the week as well. And then as we head into the Thursday and even Friday time frame, we're going to start to see those temperatures warm back up. So we're going to time it all out and get you the details coming up a little bit later on.
Thanks, Mia. We'll see you then. Take a look at other stories we're following tonight. San Antonio Crime Stoppers need your help finding this man they say robbed a gas station after threatening the cashier. Investigators say the man shoved, punched, and threatened a worker at the Shell gas station on Roosevelt Avenue on Friday. Police say he left the store with several items in a backpack without paying for them. If you know who this man is, you're asked to call Crime Stoppers. You could earn up to $5,000 in reward money if your information leads to an arrest.
A man was shot and killed overnight in Bexar County, and deputies don't know what led to his death yet. BCSO deputies responded around 1:30 this morning near Candlewick Court and Foster Road. Deputies found the man laying in the front yard of a home with several gunshot wounds to his stomach. Emergency crews tried to save him, but he died at the scene. Deputies are asking everyone in the area with security cameras to check them to see if anything suspicious was caught on video.
San Antonio police investigating another shooting, this one leaving a 9-year-old injured. Police say it happened last night around 10:30 when someone shot into a home in the 1200 block of Lambrano Street. The 9-year-old was grazed by a bullet, and officials expect him to recover. No one else inside the home was injured. Meanwhile, police haven't released any information about a possible car or suspect in that shooting.
6 people rushed to the hospital after a 15-year-old boy crashed a car into another car, then hit a light pole and slammed into a home on the south side. It all unfolded in the 200 block of Creeth Place around noon today. Police say the teen was driving south on Walhalla Avenue when he hit the car going north. That car had 5 people inside. They thankfully all had minor injuries, but their car was totaled. SAPD said the home that was hit had $10,000 worth of damages.
Turning to politics now, Republican Representative Dan Crenshaw is slamming some of his Republican colleagues in the House as they scramble to find their next leader. Former House Speaker Kevin McCarthy ousted from the job after Matt Gaetz filed a motion to remove him. Since then, Republicans haven't been able to choose their next leader. Crenshaw unleashed on some of those lawmakers this morning, saying Republicans who want to rally support for Jim Jordan's speakership through a public pressure campaign is, quote, the dumbest thing you can do.
What I would really recommend to Jordan's allies, too, is a lot of them have mounted this high pressure campaign. They're gonna whip up Twitter against the people who are against Jordan. That is the dumbest way to support Jordan. And
For now, Representative Jim Jordan of Ohio is the front runner to become the next Speaker of the House. Louisiana Representative Steve Scalise was nominated for the position late last week, but took his name out of consideration when he became clear that he was not going to win.
Well, TxDOT brought their newest pedestrian safety campaign to the Alamo City this weekend. Their walking billboards were seen on Flores Street from Cesar Chavez to I-35 this morning. TxDOT says pedestrian traffic deaths are up 30% in just the last 5 years, and hopes bringing these billboards to the cities across the Lone Star State will remind drivers to be aware of pedestrians crossing streets.
Yesterday, the San Antonio Zoo was packed with people walking for children with congenital heart defects. The Children's Heart Foundation and University Health say over $79,000 was raised to help families and their children born with those heart defects. The foundation says congenital heart defects are America's most common birth defect, affecting nearly 40,000 babies yearly.
Still ahead, seasonal sickness is here. Hear from experts about the latest wave of illnesses we're seeing in San Antonio and what you can do to stay healthy. Plus, Baptist Hospital working on new techniques and technology to detect breast cancer early. How doctors and patients alike are fighting for a cure during Breast Cancer Awareness Month.
And the state's oldest VFW is right here in San Antonio. And after standing for more than 100 years, the building is in need of a little bit of work. The progress being made to preserve the historic building for the next generation. Next.
The state's oldest Veterans of Foreign War post needs a total overhaul so people can enjoy it for years to come. The Victorian-style house sits along the Riverwalk for veterans to hold ceremonies and tourists and locals alike to appreciate the building's classic architecture.
The Night Team's Camelia Juarez previously reported about Post 76 plumbing problems, but tonight she tells us about the progress they're making to preserve the building for the future.
The history and what it stands for. It stands for freedom.
VFW Post 76 carries a high profile. Veterans travel from across the country for ceremonies here.
It means a lot to me.
It's a local favorite that sits along the world-famous Riverwalk.
I like the way it looks. It reminds me of what San Antonio historically looks like.
The beauty of the 110-year-old house is starting to fade. At one point, guests could not even use the restrooms.
One thing I just noticed today.
But building committee chair Steve Trevino says the post has completely overhauled their plumbing.
It's a solid fix.
After years of patchwork fixes, Trevino is now ready to install long-lasting upgrades.
I don't want to be where we have beavers making a wooden dam when we need Army Corps engineers.
The post is working alongside the San Antonio Historic Preservation Office, drafting an assessment of the house's needs. And hopefully, with the city's connections, they can start finding donors that want to help.
We should be kickstarting a fundraising campaign soon. We're reviewing how and what can be donated as far as monetary and from whom. So we want to be able to make sure that we're not limited by our nonprofit status.
One of the descendants of the Petty family, the family who donated the house to the post, has already made a donation.
This is his house. And I take great pride in knowing that we have one, to the best of my knowledge, one surviving member who was raised in this house. And we owe him a lot.
They also submitted a grant to the San Antonio Conservation Society to make some repairs to the roof.
It's might not be the full $50K. We're going to have to be happy to take whatever they award us.
If you'd like to support Post 76 preservation process, you can make a donation of any amount at the canteen just inside. Camelia Juarez, KSAT 12 News.
Hopefully they will get the help they need to fix up that old girl. It's a beautiful building.
So pretty.
We are halfway through October and one day closer now to the Dia de los Muertos Festival. This year's celebration happening October 28th and 29th over at Hemisphere Park. To get your tickets and learn more about the events, just scan that QR code you see on your screen.
Hopefully the weather then will be as beautiful it was today. I was cold this morning.
Nice.
I was actually cold.
It's a good problem to have.
It is definitely a good problem, especially considering that it is the middle of October. Definitely seeing some of those fall temperatures stick around. Yes, it was cool this morning. We had plenty of sunshine, though, this afternoon, and high temperatures rebounded pretty well, mid to upper 70s here in the San Antonio area. But I actually want to start off with this morning's low temperatures. We've had the drier air move in. That allows those temperatures to fall a little bit more efficiently through the overnight. You can see a mixed bag of 50s and even a few low 60s in and around the Alamo City. 60 degrees officially on the dot over at the airport, 58 in Bulverde, 53 in Kerrville earlier this morning, and 54 just off to the east in Comfort. Now, as we look ahead to the next couple of mornings, still expecting chilly starts. Near 50 here in town first thing tomorrow by about 7 a.m. Potentially upper 40s in San Antonio by Tuesday. That continues for the most part into Wednesday before we start to see a little bit more moisture work in. By the second half of the upcoming work week, and those overnight lows start to trend a bit warmer. But first, here's a look at your morning commute temperatures first thing tomorrow. You can see right around 50 degrees is where we are expected to bottom out right here in town. 51 in Floresville as well as Pleasanton. It's possible, especially north and west of San Antonio, as we get up into the hill country, some of the higher elevations, mid to upper 40s, certainly a possibility. So you will want the extra layer first thing tomorrow, but by the afternoon, you're not going to need it. And here's why. Plenty of sunshine is expected throughout the day. 65 degrees expected by 11 a.m., 71 by 1 o'clock in the afternoon. And then as we head into the later portions of our Monday afternoon, by about 4 to 5 o'clock, temperatures are forecasted to reach into the mid to upper 70s yet again, around 77 here in town. Over in Seguin and New Braunfels as well, 75 in Comfort and 75 in Canyon Lake. We mentioned this a little bit earlier. This weekend was very windy out there, had wind gusts out of the north, generally upwards of about 25 to even 30 miles per hour. Tomorrow it will still be breezy, but not as windy. We could see a stray gust or two, generally upwards of about 20 miles per hour. And winds are still coming in from the north, so essentially what that's doing is keeping the humidity out. We have low humidity, dry air in place. That will be the case yet again tomorrow and into Tuesday. This is a look at your dew points, how we measure the moisture in the atmosphere. But notice as we head into the Wednesday time frame, especially across our far southeastern counties, the coastal plains, winds shift back in from the southeast. We'll start to see a little bit of that moisture work its way into the area. And then by Thursday morning, a bit more of a muggy start is expected, which is why those overnight lows start to come up a bit more there as well. Here's a look at the days following tomorrow, Tuesday. Pretty copy and paste conditions compared to what we're expected to find out there tomorrow. Sunny skies, low humidity, a temperature in the upper 70s by Tuesday afternoon. A little bit warmer already on Wednesday, a high temperature around 82. And then Thursday, we're in the mid 80s. It's possible by Friday, though, as we start to see another push of drier air work in. High temperatures actually climb closer to the 90-degree mark. So enjoy that slightly cooler weather here over the next few days or so. This is the upper level setup here. We've got high pressure off to our west right now. It's slowly going to move eastward into Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday, which is why our weather pattern is expected to be pretty quiet. But then as we head into the Thursday and Friday time frame, we start to look at this low pressure system that approaches the Great Lakes region. This actually is going to drop a boundary into south central Texas, and with the moisture in place, it is possible we find a stray shower on Thursday. Unfortunately, it's not a significant rain chance, only a 10% chance, maybe a 20% shot at an isolated storm before the day is done. And then after that, there are those warmer temperatures that take us into next weekend, highs closer to about 90 degrees. So next couple of days, fantastic weather here in south central Texas. Yes, it will be cool and crisp in the mornings, but the afternoons are going to be very pleasant, upper 70s, plenty of sunshine, and yes, that low humidity making it feel very nice to step outside too, guys.
I think 90 degrees is rude.
Yeah, we'll take it. It's better than what we had.
Okay.
All right, we are going to check in with Larry Ramirez out in the LA area. We're going to see if he's got some shoes and if he's got us ready for the Cowboys Monday Night Football next. The Dallas Cowboys will take center stage tomorrow night under the bright lights of Monday Night Football when they face the LA Chargers at SoFi Stadium. And that is where we find our Larry Ramirez tonight for a preview of what's on Instant Replay. Hi out there, Larry.
Hello, Tim. You know, you gave me such a complex earlier. I had to put my socks and my shoes back on just for you, good sir. So the Rams played here today. The Chargers will run SoFi tomorrow night, and coming up tonight on a brand new edition of Instant Replay.
Kellen's a great, OC, as you can see what he's doing to those guys over there. I love to see it, and I'm happy to see him back, doing what he does best.
After scoring just 10 points last week in that embarrassing loss to the Niners, the Cowboys offensive players say they're focused and back on track heading to LA. And now their defense will face a man who knows them very, very well, Chargers OC, Kellen Moore.
Stroud from the pocket fires, and it's intercepted, the first of his career.
How about that? Texans QB C.J. Stroud threw his first NFL interception today, more than a month into his pro career, but it didn't hurt as the Texans got it right back by forcing and then recovering a fumble. Stroud is off to a blazing start, and the Texans are reaping the benefits.
Here's Massey with the cell, rocketing down the lane, handing to Wembanyama. Jack hammers it in.
Oh, he's showing us everything.
Victor Wembanyama is having a fantastic preseason, creating one highlight reel play after another. His teammates are excited as Spurs fans are very pumped up. Mary Rominger has more as Wemby mania continues to grow. Plus, we got the College Corner, and San Antonio FC is unfortunately limping into the postseason. Plus, we got the best of BGC. Instant replay is coming up live and next right after the Nightbeat, live in San Antonio and live right here on the West Coast. Tim?
I'm glad you're fully clothed, but now if you go into that water behind you, you'll have wet socks. Thanks, Larry. We'll see you later. Still to come, the fight to find a cure for breast cancer is a never-ending one. How a push at Baptist Health System is helping doctors and patients alike in the battle against breast cancer.